Hi everyone, welcome to the Stuff channel. We have an oopsie today. This is one of our school's Flight TUSL-KIDZ models that we have. And this one already had sort of a loose bottom. I could see it. And a student dropped it. They dropped it right in the right spot. And it popped the top off with the tension of the strings. So right now these strings are helping me. That's why I've not reduced the tension yet because that's keeping the top off. But you can see how it's constructed. If I look in there a little bit, you can see that it has these sort of like supports that the laminate top sits on. You can see where the screw comes up from the strap button there. And then if you look up here, you can see the laminate. You can see how the bridge is screwed in. You can see that the laminate top does have some structural supports that go across horizontally. Now, this is, I think, a flaw. It's not a fatal flaw, but it's a flaw in the design of the Flight. This should have like a solid plastic top for this to grip to. That would make a world of difference. The Macala or Kala dolphin or the shark has that. They sort of have more of a ridge rather than these little holding sort of supports there. So that's why they pop off if they drop. Now, should an ukulele be subjected to that? No, but this is a school, and that's what happens. And the glue is good because you can see that the glue took some of the laminate with it on the sides. So how are we going to fix that? Well, let me show you the tools that I have here. First of all, I have JB Weld. I'm not too worried about how the ukulele looks afterwards, so if some of it gets on the top, it's not a problem to me. I have a small screwdriver here that I use to get the JB Weld distributed, especially in the upper parts, so it holds the whole thing. And then I also have a, a cloth or, sort of like a paper towel to clean off any extra JB Weld on my screwdriver. And then also I've got some rubbing alcohol and an Expo marker, a blue Expo marker to address the top if there's any wear spots on the top, which happens because of the sort of like wash finish that's used on these. So they will wear down to laminate, and then I can just draw with marker, use some rubbing alcohol, and then that fixes those bare areas and it's sort of washed out again. So let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some of this JB Weld here and mix it up. And I prefer these because then I can reseal them. And then I squirt a good amount, and looks like the black side is not coming out right now. So there we go. Because you need both sides to activate that epoxy. And I'm going to clean it off. I'm not going to seal that yet because I'm not sure if I'm going to need any more or not. So I'm just going to leave that on the side over here as I mix this up. And I'm going to get to that nice gray color that JB Weld uses. I don't really have a table in here where I record to kind of put this temporarily, so I'm just going to put it on my lap and hopefully not getting on me. And you can see the tip of my screwdriver has JB Weld on it. And then what I do is I just distribute that all over the inside here, and then I will also put it on the top where it ripped out as well, on the top part of that. And I'll make sure it's kind of goopy so that when I loosen the string tension, it all just slides right into place. So I'm going to go do that for a while. I'm going to cut away to having finished this. All right, so I'm done. I didn't get a ton of it on me, although I do have it in a couple spots. I'll use some rubbing alcohol to take care of that. But you can see I've coated everything that I can see where it would hold with the JB Weld, also on the top and on the edges. Now, when I loosen the strings, what'll happen is it will snap into place. So I've got my Jawum tuner here, which also allows me to quickly change strings or to loosen tension. So I'm just going to bring the string tension down all the way until it flops out, because I'm going to tighten that later. So I'm just taking care of the A string right now. And you can see how the top is starting to sink in there. Okay, G string can come off, and then the C string. You can see the top is settling back in. what I will do is I will press it in and then I'll put some masking tape around it. But first I'll like try to clean up the goop here because there's some extra spray over. And quite honestly, if there's some gray showing, that isn't going to bother me because, again, it's a school ukulele and it's been repaired. So, again, we're a school, so we can't just go out and buy another one of these at whatever the current price is, $65 or whatever. You've got to try to make it last. So, if you can make a repair, you do it. So, now I'm just going through and cleaning off any of the gray stuff from the JB Weld that's sticking over the edges. Some may seep through again, and that's fine. I'm just wiping off the excess right now, using different parts of the rag to do it. There you go, that's pretty good. So it still needs to be pushed in to seal up for probably overnight, which is fine. And then the other trick I was going to show you is if you've got a spot where there's some wear, and there is some up here, an Expo, blue Expo, you can just color on your ukulele. This Expo marker isn't the greatest either. So this marker is ready to go too, incidentally. And then that actually almost fades in perfectly. You can see some of where that goes. Then if you just take some rubbing alcohol, like this, and if you take that rubbing alcohol and you put it on your rag, you can just quickly just wipe where you've colored, and any fade areas will just blend right in. So that's a great little tip for if you have a worn Flight KIDZ or another Flight TUSL or TUS or TUSC model that you can see some wear on. You can adjust that pretty quickly if you have a matching sort of Exco marker that works, and on the blue one, the blue works just fine for that. So I need to tape this up so it dries, and don't forget to wipe off any excess on your JB Weld so you can put the cap back on and have it available for the next time that you want to use it. There we go. Now, to be fair, a big rubber band would be very beneficial here, and my masking tape that I have is not very good. The other day I was doing a video where I was showing how to like tape up your frets and sand your frets on an inexpensive ukulele if you want to deal with some sharp fret ends. But this is not the world's greatest masking tape either that I've got. And I don't need a lot on here. I just need enough to hold the top in so that it's level with the rest of sort of the groove for the top. Yeah, masking tape is not very good. And once this is all taped up, I will just let this dry overnight. And then tomorrow I can put the tension on it and it will probably work just fine. And if a student didn't know, they probably won't even know that it's been repaired. Although the student that dropped it today, and again, the bottom was already loose. That happens on some of these. And it is a design flaw, but it's not a tragic flaw. It shouldn't happen. You shouldn't need to have to do this repair. But again, it's a school. We need to repair it. And it's going to happen. Kids are going to drop them. You might drop yours. And if it does, now you know how to fix it. And that's all it really needs. So you can see that the top is sitting. Even though it had been bent up, I don't need any extra tape up here because it's all laying really nice and flat. And tomorrow, this will be ready to go for students again in class. So I hope that's either helpful to you or interesting to you. Ways for particularly education to keep your dollar going on these instruments, because we just can't just go and buy another one to replace it. Thanks so much for joining me for this video. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll be back soon with some more uke stuff for you.